Well, it could have been a fantastic night for Manchester City, and it's ended up in complete disarray with Carlos Tevez reportedly refusing to come off the bench to go on as a substitute. Graham Souness, have you ever heard of anything quite like that?
I'm in disbelief. When he started speaking, I had a couple of years with Roberto Mancini, and I could tell you from his first couple of sentences he was deeply upset. He was very emotional, and then as he spoke, he explained what the problem was. I just find it incredible that, you know, someone, and there was half an hour to go, as I remember, half an hour to go when he asked them to go on, you know, when the pictures went to him appearing to refuse to go on. There was half an hour to go. Why would a player not want to go on and help his teammates out? How selfish can you get? You know, because he didn't start. How petulant can you be? You would chase him as far as you can from Manchester tomorrow if you could, because he is one bad apple, and that can spread. When the results are not going well for a manager who's got a big squad of players like he has, he'll be chirping in other people's ears, causing the manager a problem. The owner, or the man who's running Man City right now, has to help the manager and get him as far as he can away from the club. It's not about money with Man City. They can afford to take the hit on him. But he could undo all the good work that they've done to date. He is one bad apple. Any way you look at it, one bad apple.
Mark, you signed him. Is he a bad apple?
No, I think the thing with Carlos is that he always wants to play. The reason he left Manchester United was because
but Mark, if he wanted to play, why? He's had
absolutely. No,
play.
I take that point. Whether or not he's misinterpreted the message from the manager, I'm not sitting here defending what he's done, if that's the case, because that's obviously what Roberto thinks has happened, that he's refused to play.
But what about his behaviour before tonight? You know, he's at a club which is obviously going places, and he's making noises he wants to go. And every time he opens his mouth, it's a different reason for him wanting to leave Man City. He's a disgrace to football. The man in the street thinks there's a lot wrong with your modern footballer. He epitomises what the man in the street thinks is wrong with modern footballers.
Was there any hint of that, Mark, when you were there?
No, I think the problem Carlos has had, and is well documented, is that he's missed his family. His family's been away, and that's why he was saying if it was possible to leave the club, he wanted to leave because he had a situation with his family. On football issues, there's obviously no relationship whatsoever with, you would imagine, given the events of this evening, between himself and the manager. That needs to be mended. If it can't, then something else has to happen.
But we saw a hint, didn't we, from what was going on the bench, Dwight? You know, what on earth are his teammates going to make of him if he has refused to go on?
Well, like, as I said, it's like Graham. I know Tevez reasonably well. Like, he's lived within the village. We speak a couple of times. The guy just wants to, he loves playing football. I mean, we don't condone what he's done in terms of refusal to go on the football pitch. No one likes to see that. For whatever reason, we don't know the ins and outs. Obviously, the manager has come out and stated that clearly, that he refused to go on the pitch. And they need to sort that out, because you don't need that around the place at the moment. You know, they got a real football lesson from a top team in Europe. You know, you don't win European Championship like they did for 4 times. And they need to address that. You know, they've still got 4 games to try and get back into the next stages of the competition. But they need to sort out those kind of situations. You don't like to see it at all happening. And for me, you know, the manager has got some work to be done, and only he alone can make those decisions.
It may have been indefensible, Graham, but was it understandable that he would have been furious that when Dzeko has come off, De Jong has gone on rather than him?
Well, how about looking at it from the other side, Jeff? How about saying, I'm going to go and show the manager and all my teammates and every Man City supporter how much you've missed me, instead of acting in a petulant way like that. I just think it's totally unacceptable. He's a football player paid to play football. This is his working day, and he's refusing to go and help. Hey, the biggest thing for me is he's refusing to help his teammates. You know, they're 2-0 down. I'll go and get you a goal, chaps. I'll get you out the river tonight. Instead, it's all about him. And I'm sorry, I have to disagree with the chaps. I think since, you know, how do you spell it, Man United? Why did Man United not take him? You know, Fergie, the oldest fox in the business, must have seen something he didn't like about him. That's why they didn't buy him. And then this chap, for me, has walked into a hornet's nest with him and several others at the club at the time. And that would cause you to walk away from the job. When you've got players acting like that, I mean, how can you deal with them?
And you saw there as well, Mark, you know, Edin Dzeko has made his unhappiness of being substituted quite plain as well by his reaction on the bench there. It's just going to give fuel to the critics of Manchester City who say they're just a bunch of highly paid mercenaries and not a team.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because they're a good group of players. Individually, without a shadow of doubt. Collectively, I think that there's still an issue whether or not everybody thinks everyone's pulling in the same direction. I think that's been illustrated this evening. I think in terms of Dzeko, I think he's disappointing because he's a striker. Myself and Dwight were strikers, and we hated being dragged off. Certainly when there's 30 minutes left in the game.
Did you understand the substitution?
Whether or not, he explained it, how he felt he saw the game. And all managers will see certain situations. They know the build-up leading into the game and every circumstance. We're just looking in isolation into what's happened this evening. But there may be things that we don't know about that influences a manager's decision to make substitutions.
But Dwight, when you're 2-0 down away from home, can you understand taking off a striker and putting on effectively a holding midfield player?
Well, clearly not. Not someone like in the form of Deco, like, you know, what he's done so far. And, all right, he's probably not got his best game on tonight because they simply wasn't at the race. For 30 minutes, as we highlighted, it was all, you know, they looked very comfortable, everything going to plan, and then suddenly they conceded 2 sucker punch goals. But at the end of the day, as a striker, you're always capable, or you're thinking that we only just need 1 more goal. And the manager dragging him off, I think he's just upset. And he would get over that. He's gone on, he shows his intent that he shouldn't have been dragged off. But the manager makes those calls, and that's what it is. But at the end of the day, you know, you still, whoever goes on, and it's the manager decision, and that's final.